All right, we're down here with the players. First of all, Scott, Olive, thank you guys so much for playing. Thanks
Awesome.
for battling.
Yeah.
I know both of you went through patches of pretty tough, like emotional, like psychological, like challenge. I'd love to hear you both kind of talk about that a little bit. What was going on for each of you in terms of whether it's what expectations or just having a bad day, or what was the big challenge for each of you?
Uh, it was just like holding on to the intensity for the entire time, right? Like having to uh there's constant pressure on my serve, right? Because Scott's holding every time, and then constant pressure on the return game because he's hitting big serves that I have to like really work hard to be ready for and go for that first ball. And then right after that ball is it switch up to our ground strokes, which is significantly slower and different ball. So it's taxing like mentally, even though it's not like a 10-shot rally. So I kind of lost it at like what was that game, like 1-2 or something?
Yeah, I broke you to go up 3-1.
Yeah, it was like at 30 all. It's like you saw the that serve, right? Like
Yeah.
it was stupid. I was going back to being petulant about it,
It was actually a really good underhand serve. I mean, I had to stretch to get it, but
yeah. So but I didn't have a follow up to that. Right? I was like, oh yeah, like it.
I was going to hit that ball deep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
so it's about the follow up is about maintaining the focus, and I didn't have it like within points or from like a set perspective.
Yeah.
Also.
Yeah. That serve sparked me. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
That gave me a little bit of juice. For me, it was that playing her. If you're not ready for it, it's like playing against Mike Tyson. She comes out of the corner and punches you in the face and says hello afterwards.
Yeah.
And I found myself on my heels trying to get a rhythm, and it wasn't possible. We didn't have long rallies, and there were a lot of winners hit, but there were a lot of errors hit too. And I don't really like to play that kind of match where it's just like, oh God, I'll make a mistake, you make a mistake, where we're kind of playing hot potato with the errors. And the stress was to try and grab a hold of some consistency and see, if I could hold on to it. And I did in a couple of games where you were serving and you came back, and I'm just like, holy, I can't, I mean, like it's like fighting an octopus. You grab two tentacles and then she slaps you with the other six.
Well, it was hilarious because it was that game where you got up low 40, and then Olive served and volleyed three times
three times in a row.
And they were amazing. I mean, I like, and I was talking to myself, I was like, oh, she's going to do it again. And she didn't. I was like, okay, that was a good shot.
She did two of them, and Ian looked at the camera. She's not going to do 3 in a row. I'll do 10 push-ups.
I'll do push-ups if she serves a volley.
And then she just came in all calm, cool and collected, and just boom, boom.
Yeah, I mean, and that was a street fight. What that was. That wasn't choreographed tennis. We were out there brawling, like taking low blows and kicking and stomping.
Yeah.
I mean, really, it was a fun match in that sense, but it's an uncomfortable match because you're going to get hurt.
Yeah.
That's how I'd say it.
I was telling Ian this. It literally just felt like it was weird that you guys were kind of like almost like mentally and emotionally synced at the same point, to where you guys were either at a high, like both at the same time, or you guys were both in a low moment, like right at the same time. So it felt like, even though like you guys, because there were like, I counted, there were like 3 bad missed volleys that you kind of like had. And it was just hard for like the other person to kind of like grab in that moment, or like if Olive had a bad miss, and then it was tough for you to kind of grab momentum, because both of you, you're right, you were in that stress of like, oh my God, they're going to hit a great shot where they're going to be able to come right back at it.
Yeah. I think we made each other play uncomfortably, and that was I guess that's a success if that's the goal of the match.
Because there was one return that it was the same game that Olive had served and volleyed, and then I could tell that like you were thinking that, oh, what if she serves and volleys? So like immediately like you went to chip, like you were going to drop it low at her feet, and then it missed, and then it missed in the net. And I was telling Ian, like that's where like sometimes doing that serve and volley, sometimes to where you force that returner to kind of go, okay, what are they going to hit? So you're trying to anticipate, and you're guessing what the server is going to do. Yeah.
So there was some pretty significant fireworks in the first set in terms of like just offensive like weaponry back and forth. It felt like the majority of the second set, the two of you were just kind of like awkwardly trying to dance, but not quite like getting in like rhythm, together. Like, can you guys kind of comment on that a little bit? Like Olive, I'm sure for you especially, you would have loved to find some like high octane like offense again.
Yeah.
What were you going through?
I would say like because of like the pressure and like the way that we were playing, the way the match was going, I found myself pressing like a little bit too hard when it came to balls that I thought that I had a little bit more time or a little bit less pressure on. And it resulting in like, errors and whatnot. And I think at the same time, like I think I told, I told the camera earlier, like we hit so few like balls off of the ground that when we did get into rallies, I was like trying to figure out like how to hold my racket.
Yeah. That's a really good point, because I felt like the racket was like I was constantly fumbling with it because we were not getting that rhythm, of like a good, cross.
Why do you think that happened? Because you both are kind of tempo players. Like you
Yeah.
both like to hit a clean, like penetrating ball. Why do you think you didn't quite find that?
I think we were just trying to punch each other in the face. That's why
Yeah.
neither one of us wanted to be the one to give the easy ball, and
Yeah.
that was pissing me off the most in the first set. I was like these serves, I'm putting them right on the tee, and she's crushing them, and I was getting mad about that. I was like, I got to return. If you go back and watch my commentary, the returns were such a stress thing for me, in that I was like, I got to do this. I got to do this. I can't, like, even when I'm up 40 love, take off. I'm gonna bunt it back, she'll miss, and it's not gonna happen. You
Yeah.
can't play that way.
Because like exactly what Olive said, that's what happened. Like the very first game, you started serving, you got up love 30, you grounded out 2 points in a row, and then I said, Ian, there was a forehand that you missed. You were a little bit to the middle, and you kind of went super close to the line, and you ended up missing it. And then I know that when you sometimes get that, when you get down love 30, you get that 15-30 thing. Then all of a sudden, then your concentration and your confidence then just goes way up.
Yeah.
Did you kind of feel that, Olive, in that moment, to where at that love 30 point, going for a
Literally,
little bit too
like
much on that forehand?
every time I was up 30 love, like in a return game, it was like, dude, what the is this guy doing? Like, how come I can't? It's either like it could be just like an ace, like up the tee or something, or I think there was a couple like really good body serves that I was like.
Well, I mean, I concentrate better.
Yeah,
I realize that there's something at stake. Now I'm not getting 3 points.
I'm the same way.
Yeah,
and,
that's the way it felt. Like when I was up on you, then I was like, you got to close out. This is where the points start happening. You didn't miss.
Yeah.
And you played.
Yeah. And that's what I felt like. If both of you were uncomfortable at like playing with a lead, because then you were it's like you're trying to prepare for the person to just come out with a knockout blow. It's like you guys were doing better when you were behind, and then you're just like, okay, now I can kind of catch up and then overtake them.
Yeah.
And I think that's a product of our styles of play, is that we both look to dominate. We both look to impose our will, and it was almost like, we were just getting in each other's way of doing that.
Yeah.
That we weren't letting the other person be dominant. We were just like, I'll hit a ball out before it. Really, maybe that's what it was. It was like we were trying to disrupt each other. Wet circuits.
Yeah, I haven't played a serve this fast on like an indoor court like ever, and that was a challenge. Yeah, usually like any big server, I'm like, I relish in that, because it's like I don't have to think. I just go to the ball.
Yeah.
And but today it was just like, if you're like you're a centimeter late to the ball, it's going long or it's going wide.
Yeah.
And that's like a new phenomenon for me.
I went to that. I went to that because it was working. In my last commentary, I said that was a difference maker for me. It was my serve saved my day, saved my bacon. It got me out of trouble. I think you had one break point on me the whole match, and when it happened, I just hit an easy shot, hit an easy winner or something like that.
Yeah.
Olive, you told me in the car on the way here that you felt like the challenge from yesterday, you felt like kind of set you back a little bit mentally, like confidence-wise.
Yeah.
How do you feel now after? Sorry, that's a tough question.
Yeah,
I'm curious.
I wouldn't say it set me back. It was like experiencing a regression, and I felt the same way, in the second set today.
Okay.
The first set was like fine.
Good.
I was handling it well, but it was how do I explain it? Just like I'd been, because of the things I've been working on and how I've been feeling in practices like back home, it was I had some expectations of like, carrying that into these matches, which are a little bit like more stakes than just playing like playing friends back home or whatever, practice partners. So that expectation plus, whatever expectations that I have around like playing here just kind of brought a little bit more stress than I was expecting or hoping to like deal with like internally. So, and you saw it come out like in the second set where I just lost it, and
Good racket throws. I mean,
Yeah, thank
you
you.
got good form on
Thank
that
you.
too.
I don't have a sponsor yet, so once somebody gets in touch with me, you'll see some smashes on the floor. But yeah, yeah, no, that's a work in progress, and that has been, right. Yeah. So.
No, and that's it's a good point because I remember like Dill said something similar where it's like you come on and it's like you have your own channel and you're coming onto another channel. It's like it's hard. You feel that pressure to where you're trying to win for you're trying to win for yourself, but also winning in somebody else's environment.
Yeah.
Like it's hard because he played against Mark and he had that one like weird kind of low point to where you're just you have the expectations, and when you don't meet them, sometimes it's just really hard to kind of overcome that.
Yeah.
This is the most nervous I've been since my first match. Honestly, and it's not a testament. I mean, it's a testament to the fact that you're a good player, as well as like what we're kind of like merging universes here, and it's like I want to put my best foot forward. I was prepared to lose. Or, no, I was prepared to get beat. I wasn't going to give it to you. But like if you come in and beat me, I'd be like, good for you, nice job.
Yeah.
And the second set where I was trying to get over, and I think I was trying to break you, and you ended up holding. I was like, are you going to give up? Are you are you going to give up? And there was that thought, like, Jesus, our wills are just like, we're just battling. And I said, I can't do it. This is like mile 20 in a marathon. We got to like see who's going to finish here. But that was a fun match.
All right, I got one more question, and I need you guys to kind of fact check me on this. Maybe I'm wrong, but I believe at 3-3 in the first set, when Scott let go of his racket and it traveled to Olive's side of the court.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that gives the match to Olive, if I'm not mistaken, as per the rules of tennis.
Whatever.
Is that true?
Does anybody know that for sure?
If you want to put an asterisk after this match, go for it. I was here to play tennis, and it was.
Did you think about it when it happened?
No, I didn't.
No, you didn't think about it.
No, he was just thinking about the easy shot that he had that he missed. That's why I missed it.
No, this is a learning experience. I'm looking forward to watching this just to see, what my body language was and all that in that moment, because, I wasn't like particularly angry at the moment. It was just kind of like, just sort of like a toss it, into the net and it went over the net.
You were seething.
I was managing my emotions, but temperature was rising,
Flame was getting hot.
I'm experienced enough to realize that you can't let them get away from you. You've got to focus. You've got to use whatever intensity that's negative and try to turn it into something positive. If I'm mad because I'm not moving my feet, straight, I'm going to be mad at my feet, and they're going to listen to what I say, or I'm going to step on them. I mean, I'll punish myself for it.
Yeah.
So anyway, Olive, congrats on the moral victory today.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
That's what I'm always aiming for.
3-3 deep.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, every time.
We all know the real score. It's okay.
Yeah, every time I'm walking back to the end of the court and saying you, Scott, I say sorry afterwards. I'm like, I didn't mean it. Not like that.
No,
Yeah.
that's respect right there. That's respect.
Yeah.
Right. She's gonna sucker punch you, then apologize.
Yeah.
You know what? I like her.
Yeah.
I like her style. She's got my kind of game.
Yeah.
I like that.
Any final thoughts, players, or messages?
I'll do this one. That just for any naysayers or just trolls who think that that she's not the real deal. I'm on the other side. She made me feel defensive. Okay, that she's scary how well she hits the ball, and that I had to dig deep, mentally to overcome that match. That it was a fun match. She's got just a great arsenal, firepower. She's fast, she's strong. She has strong off both wings. She volleys well. She's not afraid to try anything. And I'm just glad that I got out of there with some self-respect.
Yeah.
I said to Ian up there, I said she commands the same presence as like a Sam Stosur.
Yeah.
Like you just walk on court and there's just a presence. You see the pace coming off the ball and you're just like, oh, I'm gonna have to be on point today.
Yeah. After losses in general, I always have to remind myself that I didn't play tennis for 7 years, right? So that's all those matches I didn't experience. I'm building that mental mental side of the game right now, so
Yep.
I'm still learning. So I don't feel too bad. Scott played really good, so
I served well. Right?
Yeah,
I would say
no.
that was the
yeah, yeah, it was a fun match.
Yeah.
Really happy to be here.
Yep, and then Mark's got his hands full.
Yeah.
Mark's going to be playing her next, and I'm really curious to see how that goes because he's going to be on his heels a lot.
Yeah.
I think.
Can't wait.
Yeah, we'll see if I learned enough to take it to him.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
good job.
All right, thanks,
thanks for
everybody.
playing.
good play.
Thanks
I'm-
for watching.
Yep.
Olive, any final? That's
That was it. That was it.
Yeah.
Subscribe,
Cool.
to,
All right.
subscribe to OliveTV.
Yeah, yeah,
sub
yeah,
my
yeah.
OnlyFans.
Yeah.
We out. Yeah.
Thanks for watching,
Just,
everybody.
real. That's real. Real tennis.
Real tennis.
Yeah.
Real tennis.
Yeah.
Playing, guys.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks
All
for
right,
playing.
Let's do
Thank
it.
you. Thank
Nice
you.
job.